Good morning and welcome to pre-market report for Monday 25th July 2022. Now, before we go into the market report, let's look at the news on the global front. The first major news which the Indian media is reporting and is not reporting fully, especially the financial channels, is that Ukraine and Russia signed a deal to reopen grain exports. Now, yes, that is partly true, as they did sign a deal. However, the deal has come into a bit of a limbo now, as right afterwards the Russian planes started landing some bombs very near to those grain exports. So there's a bit of confusion over that. The other thing is that basically the financial sector, global financial sector, is going in for a fresh round of job cuts. And like Credit Suisse yesterday announced that they're going to be doing it, and also JP Morgan seems to be mulling the same idea. So that is on the global front. On the Indian economy front, India's forex exchange reserves again had a drop of $7.5 billion, which is basically, this is the second consecutive drop. So that is not a positive. And the only positive news, the government says they want to set up a fund to fast track electric mobility. However, during the current government, there's going to be a very slow process that by the time it happens, the private companies will have taken care of a lot of it themselves. Now, when we come to the charts, today we look at also Reliance and ICICI Bank and Kotak Mahindra. But first, let's look at the macro indexes. The macro indexes on Friday the Nasdaq got rejected at my current resistance level, which I had shared earlier of 12,609. It reached it and couldn't break out above it. So now it'll be very important to see how the index opens today and whether it's able to get a bullish close above this level. Because as long as it stays below this level, it's going to get a stronger hammering to come towards 12,000 rather than have a breakout. So this level has already shown its importance now, and now it's going to continue showing how much strength it has. Now when you come to S&P 500, the same thing happens. It hit my current resistance level of 3991 and couldn't break through and came back down. So now it's going to be very important to see if you can get a bullish close above this current resistance level. The Dow Jones, similar thing, only the Dow Jones formed a high wave candle while those two formed a more bearish candle. As it tried to break above the current resistance level I had shared of 32,111.6. It just couldn't, and it had a small pop above it and then came back down. Now when we come to our local stocks, Reliance Industries, now if you look at the 19th July pre-market report, I'll attach it at the end of this video as a card, and you will see that I had shared a current resistance level of 2539.30. The next day was when the windfall oil tax being reversed was news, and we had a gap up, and the index, the stock could not break the gap up resistance level. So now Reliance, post these results today, is again going to have one issue, is trying to break above this current resistance level of mine. However, if it does manage to do that, the next resistance level is 2604. However, the likelihood, according to me, for it to get a bullish close above this is rather low, as I expect it to test it, maybe hover around a bit above it, then come back and have a close below it. However, if it does break it, then 2604 is the next current resistance level. Now ICICI Bank. Now when you look at ICICI Bank, the ICICI Bank is one stock I'm personally holding for quite some time, as I entered it around here, basically around this point, and So I will be looking to book my profits now. The only reason is there is a strong contraction now at 8.15 and 8.35, after which it will start trying to go for its all-time high. So since I managed to make my money from here, let's say up to this zone, I'll be happy enough to take out at least 50 to 60% of my position at minimum, most minimum, and most likely the full position, and then let it hit this resistance level. And I believe once it hits it, it enters this range, it will be forced to have a pullback, which will be quite strong, which I will decide to purchase the stock at that point again. However, I do not believe ICICI Bank will be able to have a close above this zone, as it's a very strong resistance level. I know even the 20-day moving average is crossing over the 200 moving average, but ICICI Bank is unfortunately overextended, and the results hype could be seen on Friday, as people are very excited that, because everyone says ICICI Bank is going to be the next big thing. I agree that it's going to be the next big thing when we look at the banking sector, but it cannot have a parabolic rise throughout. This has been a very good rise for the stock, and now it's come time for me, and I believe everyone else who's holding it from the lows, to book our profits. Once it gets rejected here, it will come back towards this zone, and then we can enter it again. Now next comes Kotak Mahindra. Kotak Mahindra, the ITC of the banking stocks. I know ITC has performed now, but it has performed after years and years and years. So this is the ITC of the banking sector. Now I wouldn't consider a long in Kotak Mahindra unless, number one, it breaks the 200-day moving average. Number two, it breaks the resistance level to 1,902. Why I'm saying this is basically any position long of more than, let's say, 2-3 trading sessions. If you want to go and aim for, let's say, around let's say 20 to 30% of an upside, any position long of that level needs us to have a clean breakout above, especially 1,902. Even if you do to breach the 200 moving average, it's going to be of absolutely no substance if it cannot get at least 3 to 4 bullish closes above 1,902 on the daily time frame. If it does do that, then it will give us a very strong upside and will be a good long candidate. Now the video is kind of very long, so let's look at the Nifty and Banknifty. Now the Nifty, those on Friday who saw what I screenshotted, I had sent my clients after pre-market, but I had shared it post-market on Twitter. 16,800 is an important resistance level, and I have updated clients with above that what is the next one if we breach it. But 16,800 is going to hold a lot of the keys. Why I said it is already the SGX is indicating a small gap down, but I expect that gap down to be absolutely wiped out at the opening because of the results which came out. So it's going to be a push and pull. So 16,800 is going to be very important to see how things go on. And 37,000, 27 for Banknifty as of now. There are more resistance levels on the upside naturally. As of now, I think this is all that is needed to be given for the opening, what's going to happen. Post-open, what happens? Basically, let's say 30 minutes post-open, now that comes a bit different, and the levels for those are separate. Lastly, if you would like to subscribe for the services, then do WhatsApp me and I can send you the link to pay via card and other methods. Thank you for watching, and do like the video and subscribe to the channel.